Husband over-tightening jar lids has been an issue since he was just visiting my house when we were dating. First, it started with just things he used, and then over time, it became every darn glass jar with a metal lid. He tightened them so much I couldn't open them without assistance. It wasn't a huge deal if he was there, but if I was alone, it was so annoying. More times than I can count, I've opened a new jar of something because I couldn't get the jar open. I've opened a new jar of something because I couldn't get the jar open. It's been a recurring cycle over the past 5 years. It's just a thing that escalates until I have a major meltdown and freak out, screaming, frustrated, and seemingly crazy because it's just a lid. Then it gets better for a while, then slowly becomes an issue again, just getting worse and worse until I reach a breaking point again. Sometimes I literally feel insane for being so upset over jar lids. He initially claimed that he did it to keep food fresh. After many arguments about it, and my insistence that I don't believe it keeps anything fresh, and even if it does make things last longer, I don't care if it means I can't eat my freaking food when I want to. I'll just replace things that go bad because they're closed normally. I'll just replace things that go bad because they're closed normally. Then the excuse was that it's a habit. So about a month ago, my husband had a family emergency and had to travel out of state for 10 days. The first day he's gone, I discover a jar I can't open. I was annoyed and was going to the store to buy new pickles when the neighbor said hi and to let him know if I needed anything while my husband was out of town. I said, "Wait here," and got the jar, which he opened. The next day I saw him outside and asked him to open another jar. He offered to come open all the jars. I agreed and he came in. He went to the fridge and opened all the jars except 2, which he couldn't open. I thanked him profusely and told him I'd bake some of his favorite cookies later in the week. He laughed and said it was no big deal, and after confirming that I wouldn't be upset if the remaining 2 jars were destroyed in his attempt to open them, he took them home to his garage to open them, one way or another. He said that he's heard me screaming about the over-tightened jar lids a few times over the years, and he really pondered if I was crazy or if my husband was really over-tightening the jar lids. He said, this was intentional. It was every jar. And I'm sure he doesn't regularly use hot pepper paste, mango puree, or any of your other fancy cooking stuff. Then he held up the 2 jars he couldn't open and said, "I don't know why he's doing it, but this wasn't an accident." After he left, I locked the door, sat on my kitchen floor, and cried. Then I felt hot and lightheaded. I vomited in a trash can. My chest hurt. It crossed my mind that I might be having a heart attack. I thought about calling an ambulance, but sat back down on my kitchen floor instead. Later, the neighbor came back with the open jar of hot fudge and apologized that he couldn't save the figs. He said he broke the jar trying to get it open. He also apologized for what he said about my husband doing it on purpose. I assured him it was okay. I couldn't sleep that night, tossed and turned all night. I called out of work. By 10 a.m., I realized that I couldn't stay married, and I made an appointment with the lawyer for the next day. There are literally no other issues, no cheating, no abuse. We had a good, intimate life, and both have good jobs, nice houses, and no financial issues. He was absolutely blindsided when he came home, and I told him I wanted a divorce. He still won't admit that he tightened the lids on purpose. He suggested we go to marriage counseling, but I refused. There's no point. I just literally can't get past the darn jar lids. I still feel a little bit crazy about that. I have no idea why he would tighten every jar lid so tightly that I couldn't open it. He's given me no reason. He still won't even admit that he did it on purpose. But the hot pepper paste is in the back of the fridge. I use it only when I make Indian food. It's behind other things. He's never used it. It's nothing you can put in food without cooking it. The pepper paste could not have been an accident. It couldn't. Maybe he put mango puree on his toast or oatmeal, but the pepper paste couldn't have been an accident. That's what my life comes down to. I'm getting divorced because my hot pepper paste lid was over tight. If it had been every jar except that one, I could try. I could have a sliver of doubt. I could do something else, but I just can't get past the hot pepper paste. Most of our friends and family either think I'm crazy or an idiot. What an idiot he is. I'm just imagining this dude sneaking into a dark kitchen every night, staring into the fridge, just smug AF, to tighten all the jar lids while maniacally laughing. What a darn weirdo. Oh, P, before you move out, buy his favorite jar foods and superglue all the lids. Really though, I don't understand why he just won't admit it. You are literally leaving him, and he won't just admit it. Because then he's actually a bad guy in everyone's eyes. Currently, she's probably crazy to everyone around her who can't believe someone would do something so unhinged. It's easier for people to believe someone's a little paranoid and crazy than someone is maliciously spiteful and premeditatively nasty. Her response to any criticism should be that it's not about the jar lids. It's about him going out of his way to make her life harder. He knows he's causing her problems. The cruelty is the point. And I feel seen. My ex told me he just didn't hear our two babies when they woke at night. He was too tired and just didn't hear them. I believed him. When the younger kid was 3, my ex told me he'd lied. He smiled about it. I knew you'd get up. Of course I heard them every time. I divorced him 6 months later. Like you, it's stuck in my craw. Your husband has spent 5 years deliberately making your life harder in tiny ways and then lying to your face to make you think you're crazy. It's not about the jars or lids. He is not nurturing you. He's trying to make you dependent in some way, however small a way it is. His ego has cost him you. I too wouldn't be able to trust my man if he did this type of behavior. And without trust, there's no relationship. Back on Mother's Day, a friend of ours who has full custody of his kids posted a joke about being a single dad and thanked everyone for thinking of him on Mother's Day. My sister and a bunch of other women went off on him for thinking he deserves credit for being a single parent and that Mother's Day is special and reserved for mothers. He laughed it off. It was a joke. Well, today's Father's Day, and like clockwork, my sister, who shares custody with her ex-husband, posted about how hard it is being a single mom. So I commented that she's only a single mom half the time, and she gets spousal support and even child support. She deleted my comment and blocked me. She called me at home to call me an idiot for not supporting her. I reminded her what she said on Mother's Day. She said it's different, and that I'm a misogynistic idiot for not understanding the difference. Am I the idiot? Single parents are a different breed of parent and deserve recognition. However, this joke or saying or concept, or whatever you want to call it, got old long ago. The fact is that your sister's a hypocrite here, and her going as far as deleting the comment and even blocking you before calling you, just to call you an idiot, shows that she knows that. Good luck getting her to admit it, but it seems like it's okay for her to make such statements because she's a woman, while the friend, a man, doing it is beyond the pale. She's wrong. She knows it. She's just pissed because you didn't say anything that wasn't true. Not to mention, he is a single parent. She's not. It's not a double standard because he was accurate while she lied. Your sister's a drama mama. She just wants all the attention. I feel terrible for her kids. She's fishing so hard for compliments and recognition. Caring for your kids is the least you should do. I, 36 female, am currently 10 weeks pregnant with my partner, 41 male. He and his sister are incredibly close, and he insisted he wanted her to be the first to know we were expecting. I agreed that she would keep it secret until I told my other 2 children, not partners. We booked a quiet dinner for her and us, as well as her partner, whom I'd never met. Obviously, I'm not drinking, but she bumped into her ex at the same restaurant, and the shots started flowing. After the news, she made a huge fuss about how excited she was for her brother and herself becoming an aunt. I got a very quick hug, and that's it. I had a lemonade while they were doing shot after shot. My partner kept calling the waiter for another bottle of wine and another round of shots. 8 times he reordered drinks, and not once did he ask if I'd like another lemonade. Sister-in-law spent 6 hours telling us all over and over how her ex had cheated on her, etc. So ultimately, everyone was giving her sympathy the entire night, and the baby wasn't mentioned again. It was entirely about her. And once she finally moved on from the ex, talking about how amazing she was, etc., she is very beautiful. There's no denying it, but it was very heavy. Add to that, she was so intoxicated she knocked a bottle of red wine all over my brand new suede boots I'd spent a lot of money on and just laughed. Partner merely said, "They're fine," to shut me up. Another 2 bottles of wine and approximately 9 shots each. Mine still being sat in the corner sober and entirely ignored, still without a drink. She decided she wanted to go to a nightclub. I, pregnant and obviously not wanting to cause a scene, and unable to leave as we were staying at her place, 300 miles from home, went along, albeit incredibly tired and feeling very sick. Nobody asked if I was feeling okay or up for it. We get into the nightclub, and I'm trying to avoid being pushed everywhere. She finally spoke to me and asked me to take pictures of her with her brother and partner, and then group photos of all 3 of them. I was not asked to join or be in a single photo. A total stranger witnessed this and insisted he would take one with me in it, but she refused to smile. And despite him saying so, and to take another, she walked away. My partner said nothing and did nothing, and I was pretty much a spare part, or a photographer the entire night, without so much as a lemonade. In fact, the only person who asked if I was okay and actually congratulated me was her partner, who was incredibly intoxicated and whom I'd only met 5 hours prior. While in the nightclub and despite being told it was still a secret, she loudly announced, "My brother's pregnant, and I'm going to be the best auntie ever," all while pointing at her brother. My standing there again like a total spare part and trying not to cry. She then proceeded to call everyone on her phone and tell them all exactly the same, with no mention of me whatsoever. Again, despite being repeatedly told it's a secret until my children are told, and the people she was calling have kids that are friends with mine. Am I the idiot for being upset? Is this normal behavior? And am I overreacting? I haven't said anything to either of them about it because it wouldn't make a difference anyway, but I can barely look at him. I've raised similar issues with her being rude and acting like I'm invisible before. He's always said that I overreact because he has a close family and I don't. So I know it wouldn't change a thing, and he'd likely just call her and tell her everything I said anyway. Not the idiot, but make no mistake, your biggest problem isn't your sister-in-law, but your partner. He happily acted along with her, excluding you, didn't care how you felt, and saw you crying, but didn't feel the need to comfort you. He's showing you exactly where you are in terms of importance. You are not one to him. Girl, you need to grow a darn backbone. Right? How many shots, bottles of wine, and whatever rounds the boyfriend paid for, while OP just sat there not saying anything, and then to follow them to a club? I'm waiting for the update when we find out sister-in-law insisted on being in a delivery room with boyfriend's blessing, taking and posting pictures of OP giving birth. Then sister-in-law's the first one to hold the baby, followed by the boyfriend, followed again by sister-in-law, with everyone forgetting OP's there at all, recovering from giving birth to the baby that they're passing around. It's not too late to make another choice that would allow you to disengage from this dynamic in which his sister treats you like dirt, and he joins in on the fun. Do you really want your kids to grow up watching you being treated like this? Also, how was sister put above your kids in the line of importance? I would have refused that immediately. He's married to his sister. OP is just for carrying their baby. I see why she thinks you're invisible. You say nothing all night. You don't order a drink when you're thirsty. You don't speak up for yourself at all. You're less than a doormat. Why would you even consider telling her before you told your own children? Girl, she's not your biggest enemy. Your partner isn't your biggest enemy. You are. You let people treat you like this. You married into this. You taught them treating you like this is okay. And still, you've not said a word. What are you doing? Update. I've explained my issues very firmly to my partner, possibly a little too firmly, but sue me. I'm putting my big girl pants on and I'm hurting. He initially jumped to her defense and said, "I'm sorry you didn't feel I was attentive enough." He's since realized that I'm not going to let it go, continue to be his doormat, and allow him or them to be rude or disrespectful of me in any way. I've told him I'm taking some time and some space to reevaluate the situation, as it won't continue another moment. He's now asking what he can do to fix it, and will do whatever it takes, etc. Counseling has been suggested. I'm not going to be naive and accept lip service anymore, so time will tell what his actions are moving forward and where that leaves us. Thanks for all the comments. They've been very helpful. Oh, also, we are in the UK. They don't tend to limit alcohol in restaurants or bars here unless someone's falling down intoxicated. Still, aside from several spilled glasses, they did consume that sickening amount. I've also told him that he needs to seek help, as that's not normal. So my mom and my sister live a state over. Around a year ago, my mom's home flooded, and she needed a place to stay until the insurance fixed it all. My sister lives near Mom, 30 minutes away, and Mom went to her place first for a place to stay. She refused and basically told her to kick rocks. They had a good relationship before this. She won't even let Mom stay for a few days, so one of us could pick her up. I drove 7 hours to pick Mom up, and she stayed with me for 2 months until her home was good. The family was angry at my sister, and this resulted in a discussion about how she never helps anyone out. Everyone has experienced it at some point where she didn't care enough to help out. My biggest example pertains to when my car broke down and my sister refused to pick me up, so I had to walk home and hitch a ride home. This was before Uber took off. I got home and she was on the phone dead scrolling. Everyone in the family has examples. We all decided not to help my sister anymore. This is the issue now. She needs a place to stay since she's moving to a new city and her lease on her home ended. So she needs about a month to stay with someone before moving into her new apartment in the city. Everyone has turned her down. She called me and asked if she could stay with me. I told her no, and she started crying because the family wouldn't help her out. I told her there were consequences to not helping our mom out when she needed it. She called me heartless and hung up. Am I the idiot for telling my sister there were consequences to not helping out our mom? LMAO, not the idiot. Oh, this is so rich, coming from her to call you heartless. The irony is hilarious. Your sister refuses to help anyone else in the family, but expects those same family members to lend her a hand? Your sister brought this on herself. I find it hilarious that she called you heartless when she refused to take in her own mother after her house got flooded. She's reaping what she sowed and doesn't like it. If you want help from others, you've got to be willing to help them too. But don't put this on her not helping your mom specifically. That's not cool to your mom and may result in her getting guilt-tripped by your sister to forgive her. Your issues and those of the rest of your family are about how she treats all of you and her general behavior. Her treatment of your mom may have brought this to a head, but it's a bit cowardly to put this all on your mom. If she reaches out again, tell her the truth. You don't help me. Here are examples, not picking you up, etc. Hopefully she'll emerge from this with some wisdom. It's not likely, but there's always hope.